New Zealand Nationals just released Workout 5, containing a movement you may have never done before. This movement is the strict wall-facing handstand push-up. So let's go through the standards, how to do them, and some tips and tricks. So first, the standards. You will be performing them inside a box that the inside line marks 102 centimeters across and 50 centimeters from the wall. Now it's super important to note that you can't have any part of your hands touching the lines. We want to get our hands as close to the line, as the wider our hands are, the less range we have to travel, and therefore easier this movement will be. Another really important standard is to remember to keep your feet inside the width of the box. This is at most risk when you press up, so be mindful of this standard and ask your judge to let you know when your feet are starting to spread out too far. Next is getting up onto the wall. Luckily, unlike the CrossFit Games standard, it doesn't say that you have to do a full wall walk up into the handstand. Let's have a look at our options. Number one is a half wall walk. Now, this one's a little bit slower, but it's the best option if you're not too comfortable on your hands. Place your feet onto the wall and take big steps into your starting handstand position. Number two is the cartwheel. Now, this one's the quickest and the least taxing, but it should only be used if you're comfortable with this movement. Get close to the wall and kick yourself over. Adjust your hands as needed, then start your handstand push-ups. Next up is the body positioning. Firstly, we want to keep our core tight. We also want to keep our glutes and our quads tight too. As we lower, we want to bring ourselves into a tripod position. This means head is slightly in front of the hands, forming a triangle. As we press, we want to think about pressing up and back towards the wall while keeping our elbows slightly tucked. We want to avoid flaring the elbows out, as this will fatigue the shoulders and put them in a compromised position. Next tip is we want to aim for touch and go reps. This means no resting at the bottom. When you come to a dead stop at the bottom, you lose all your momentum and you have to fight 10 times harder to get yourself back up. Try to avoid controlling yourself down too much, as this uses more energy. As soon as your head hits the ground, you're pressing straight back up. If you need a rest, kick down. Don't stay up on the wall. For me, I find that wall-facing handstand push-ups are a movement that I can keep knocking reps out, even if they're feeling super tough. But if you feel as though you're going to fail the next rep, kick down. Staying up in your handstand is still forcing your shoulders to work and will make your shoulders more fatigued. It may mean that you're resting for a few seconds longer, but it'll save you a ton in the long run, as this workout is pretty much all shoulders. Last up is our dismount. Our options are pretty much the same as getting up on the wall. I know it's tempting, but try to stay away from the forward roll. It looks cool and it's fast, but it's pretty dangerous with the amount of fatigue our shoulders are going to be under. So let's have a look at the options that you should be using. First is that half wall walk. Second is that cartwheel.